This video is sponsored by Melbourne Instruments. Mate, hello. The Melbourne Instruments Nina got a firmware update that adds this 4-track, 12-voice analog groovebox mode where every step can be parameter locked. And in this video, I'm going to introduce that mode and have a play. It sounds a bit like this. Yeah. How does it work? Well, the idea is that you've got 4 tracks and 12 voices to divide between those tracks. And each step can have a completely different sound baked into it. By changing the dials, you change the sound that's on the step. And so 4 tracks can go quite a long way. And so what's the basic principle? If I hit play on the Octatrack, it clocks the Nina, but we're hearing just the Nina. And this beat is coming off of one track of the Nina, one of the 4. And it's made by having different noise types on different steps. Because you can come in here and there are a whole load of noise types, including complete hits. Oof. And you can copy and paste steps from one to the other. Hold a step, copy, hold a step, paste, like this. There are also the option of what are called conditional triggers, one of the devices, where you can come in and adjust the probability and have it so that steps happen every few bars or so forth, or have a probabilistic amount of likelihood that they will happen on any one step. And of course we have 3 more layers, and they can have like more drums or more synth parts on them. I'm unmuting them here. Kind of fruity. And so we can build up an entire track concept just on the Nina's own little groovebox. And of course, if you then add the concept of things like Octatracks, which can grab moments, as I've just done here. This is a moment from this pattern, or you can add to it and make whole tracks. And in fact, one of the architects of this mode, David, who makes music as Honey Smack, who works for Melbourne. David is the guy who put me on to using the Octatrack with the Nina. He has performed live with the Nina, sending elements, groovy elements into the Octatrack to loop them. So you can play live with it. I get the sense this is maybe aimed a bit more as a sort of studio tool. There's keystrokes that you have to remember because this mode was added, but you learn those. I must say that I found quite a few bugs when I was testing this thing. And so I don't know if it would be the only thing that I would want to take out if I was playing live. It's just another voice to put into that mix. So how do we make a pattern? Let's actually do something from scratch so we understand how this mode works. So to clear this, we go pattern, load, and we come up here. We can load patterns that I've made and stuff, or I can just go clear pattern. And so the idea is that you choose any of the 4 layers by holding the layer button, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 tracks, but obviously every step can have a different sound if we make that happen. We can hit rec and then just put steps in. And we hear a simple buzz and start building up a kind of bass sound. And so that is the way it works. You start and you have a kind of bass sound, like a core sound on a track. And then to get different sounds with it, what you do is you modify that bass sound by holding down a step and changing parameters until it becomes something different. And so I could change the position of the wavetable, because this third oscillator is a wavetable oscillator. Then I can hold a step, come here and edit the note. Then I could copy that, paste it, yeah, quite like that, but it's in the wrong place. I want it like that. Yeah, and so let's get a little beat going on. If I hold this button, I can change to track 2. Now we get another track to play with. And then what I need to do is hold rec and put in a step, more buzz. But then what I do is if I turn down the oscillator and turn up the noise, and come in here, we hear all these interesting noises. There's been this whole library of like percussive, weird little noises and hits, including kind of almost like full sound. If I go to hits, there are kicks. Yes. Then how do we get a clap or a hit of some kind? I take the step here, go to type and change the hit. So you hear that kind of cacophony is because it previews the sound as you're scrolling through so that you can hear it. And I can come to this step and shorten the length of it. And I can do things like change the filter. So now there's like filter settings on this step. Oh. So then if we put on animate, we see the other secret sauce of this machine, which is this machine is has motorized knobs. It does this with these kind of funky drone motors, which I am told, despite my initial thoughts, are actually more reliable than normal pots. Ugh. Yeah. Then let's put something on layer 3. So to do this, we go hold layer, number 3. And of course, you might want to like use a keyboard. You can actually connect a keyboard to this and like record the notes. But I'll do this the sort of built-in way, which is if I arm this, this becomes a little virtual keyboard with white notes and black notes. And when you're on this screen, you can hold edit and you can change the root note, as it were. Scroll down so you can access different parts of the 88 note keyboard. And then if you go load, you've got all of the presets, and I can hit load. Ooh. But I need a 64-step sequence, and to do that, I'll come in here and edit the length and make it 64. Recording. So this is a very static sound. We need a kind of motion to it. What we're going to do is play with the cutoff knob. And we're going to do the other type of recording that you can do here. Arm recording like this. Animate. And this knob now moves by itself. Spin it. Yeah. So we're starting to build up an idea, right? Yeah, fun. And I could be recording this and it will play back. Let's do it. Yeah, super cool. And we have a whole other layer. Yeah. Yeah. So I've recorded that, and I'm like muting this phrase on and off as a sort of performance effect. So in this way you can build up a whole track concept just using the Nina. That ain't your Grimpy's polysynth. No, it's not. And there's patterns in this. We can save patterns. You can chain them together by holding down the steps you want to chain and all that stuff. It's only a chain of however many you can hit together. So it's more like a very long pattern. But the capacity is there to sort of build a more complex idea. But we haven't really got as elastic as we possibly can. A little more Sophie. So let's do that now. A big note. And I think we should go a bit faster. Let's record that. Yeah. And then we can have lengths of different lengths per lane. So we could have this one be 7 steps. Change the length of that first layer, yes. Yes, indeed. Change this to... Interesting to note that muting things is destructive, as is changing length, by the way. Something to watch. Oh yeah. It's like a sort of weird, I feel like someone galloping. We can come in here, we can change the direction, we can ping pong it. Let's ping pong this one too. Now it's randomly skipping around. Let's add higher notes in there. Hats from the Octatrack. Haha, morph. The ability to morph the sound from one to another. And of course we can record that. Yeah. That's sampling the Nina into this. Then what we could do is cue something up on the Nina, like kill these tracks, build something else after we've sampled to it. Will that back to just the Nina. Spin the sounds. Yeah, fruity, but I like it. Ace.